Are you guys with me here? Because I covered a lot of stuff which could seem theoretical, but the awareness is very important. Once if you don't have if you don't actually get aware that we have a problem, then we can't fix the problem. See, if I don't know, it's like a blind spot, right? If I don't know there is a car in my blind spot, obviously there is a chance that I might get into an accident if I steer my wheel away towards the direction. So this awareness is basically taking out the blind spots. So that is the reason I am going through a lot of pain. So to cover all these biases and the roadblocks and all those stuff. Okay, it's 11:35, guys. So as I promised, I'm going to take a 10 minutes break. I'm going to keep the screen on, but I'm just going to mute my screen. So hope you guys can come back after 10 minutes and we can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shri is telling Bruce Lee used to see his moves before, and absolutely, man. Sachin Tendulkar used to do that. Gary Sobers used to do that. I'm sure a lot of cricket fans are here. Gary Sobers used to do that. Alan Border used to do that. Wasim Akram used to do that. Wasim Akram actually sees himself pitching the ball in the right spots. Can you believe that? Michael Jordan is a big fan of psychocybernetics. Michael Jackson is a big fan of psychocybernetics. Dale Carnegie is a big fan. Dale Carnegie is a popular writer. He's a big fan. How to influence and influence people. So a lot of people have done this. It's a very proven method. It actually works wonders in any area of life. If somebody wants to lose weight, for some reason they cannot stick to their gym sessions, you can actually see yourself as a very lean and muscular person, or a very whatever way you want to see yourself in the future. You can see yourself in your brain. Once your brain accepts that, the process gets simpler. But your brain doesn't accept that. Whatever you try, even if your mom or wife pushes your ass every day at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, you won't do it. It's not possible because you're not seeing yourself that way. So yeah, so that's what it is. So Rajendran, I'm going to take a break, Rajendran. So I will be back around 11:45, 45, 46, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute. Okay, guys, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so moving on. Let me do this. What should I do here? Just put an escape. Okay. Okay, this is done, right? So yeah, I just want to touch base on this overconfidence and perfectionism and ego. See, if the emotional signs of perfectionism are anger and frustration, and the emotional signs of ego are euphoria and depression, the emotional signs of overconfidence are impatience and impulsivity. So hope you guys are clearly in line with this. So basically, perfectionism, emotional signs are anger, frustration. Ego is euphoria and depression. Overconfidence is impatience and impulsivity. So hope we are all on the same page on that. Okay, so I'm going to actually wrap up things fast here because I want to take a lot of questions. So that is where I think the real meat of the session would be. Okay, the psychological reasons for lack of discipline. So when traders lose money, they often attribute that problem to discipline, right? But that lack of consistency is actually a culmination of a lot of things, just not discipline. Traders actually lose discipline with trading for the same reasons. I was just telling you, right? The dieters lose discipline with dieting, or people getting in shape lose discipline with exercise. The same reason. We basically pursue short-term pleasures over long-term happiness. So that's what human beings are. I'm okay eating a pizza rather than going and hitting the gym for 1 hour. I can drive to Papa John's 30 minutes and eat a pizza for another 30 minutes, but I won't hit the gym. So that's what short-term pleasure over long-term happiness is. Anyways, the first point is lack of focus. I mean, trading is a very boring game. We all know that. sometimes market doesn't move much. I remember August of 2012, September of 2012, market was moving like 30, 35 points in a day. That's the whole range of the market. So I go at 5,500, and I was just telling Rajendran a couple of days ago, funnily, that market does not move nowhere. I mean, I enter at 5,900 and market stays at 59.04 or 58.96 for the next 4 hours. It was that crazy. So it is easy to lose focus in those days. So trading is actually a boring game, as I said. So lack of focus can create lack of discipline. Fatigue can create loss of concentration. Basically, fatigue is you get tired looking at the same things every single day. So that can create loss of concentration. I mean, a lot of people can relate to these things with their jobs too. So you get fatigue in jobs as well, because the watching screen hour day in, day out is not easy. It definitely creates fatigue. And then overconfidence, obviously, which usually follows after a string of successes. And I have seen traders attributing success to skill, their skill level, and failure to their, failure to situational or external factors or something else. But when they make money, it's their skill. When they lose money, it's it's somebody else's problem. So when a string of random wins occur, it can obviously make the trader overconfident, and it can steer the trader from their trading plans, maybe by, as I said, maybe trading frequently or increasing their position size. That's what happens usually. Unwillingness to accept losses. Yeah, this is a big one. Actually, everybody puts a stop loss. I mean, almost all the people I know, they know what stop loss is. At least some people. I mean, very few actually have mental stop losses. I mean, they were able to execute their mental stop losses to the dot. So somehow they have stop losses, either in the system or mentally, right? So almost everybody asks that. Then why should we even talk about this point of unwillingness to accept losses? The thing is, we actually put the stop loss into the system, but we don't actually accept it mentally. What do I mean by that? See, basically, let's say the stop loss is 20 points, and it's, I'm not getting into the lot sizes. I'm just saying it's, let's say, 2% of your account size, right? We know that market can actually move against you and hit the stop loss and take our stop loss out, but still we secretly hope that this should not be a losing trade. We hope that this trade has to be a winning trade, because I have to buy my onions, I have to pay my electricity bill, I have to show to my wife, my mom, my brother that my trading is going successful, and I have to tell to my online virtual friends who doesn't care about me anyways that I am a winning trader. So all these things creep up, and we don't want to accept a loss as a loss mentally, even though we have a stop loss. So that actually affects our emotional wealth. So I want to touch base on that. And loss of confidence in trading plan strategy. So basically it has not been adequately back tested. That's what it means. It is difficult to tolerate even normal drawdowns, if you don't have confidence in our methods. So that is the whole point. And this confidence cannot be derived from just self-talk or positive talk. It cannot happen. Rather, it's a function of testing our methods both historically and real time, and seeing in our own experience that it really works. And when I say real time, I'm not talking about demo trading. Demo trading versus real trading. I'm assuming everybody is an adult here. I mean, my mentor always says this. John always says this. Madan, demo trading is like masturbation. Real trading is like sex. Huge difference, man. Don't get fooled by demo trading. It's not real, because the real emotions kick in when we do real trading, when we put the money online. Demo trading, it's all la la land. I mean, you don't lose anything, so there is no way you're going to feel emotions. If you don't feel emotions, then it's not trading, because trading, you have to feel emotions, and you have to make sure that the emotions that emotions should not hinder our performance. That's the whole idea of trading, right? So that is what it is. So I'm not talking about demo trading, I'm talking about real trading when I say real time. I mean the trade where you put our money online. trading positions that are excessive for account size. So this is a funny thing. I have seen people with 1 lakh trading. I mean, recently I was hearing that somebody with 6 lakhs account trading 3,000 shares of Nifty. That is like, I don't know how many lots. I mean, 3,000 divided by 75. How many lots is that, Rajendran? Can you help me out here?
Give me a second.
That's like 40. Yeah. 40 lots. 40 lots. Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. 40 lots. Exactly. So. Rajendran, come on, man, 3,000 by 75, you should be able to do it. You have kids, you have to teach them mathematics, buddy. You better be ready. Okay. Anyways, so 3,000 divided by 75. Yeah. So when you do that, see, there is, if you really want to feel, the adrenaline rush, and how your stomach would feel when the equity curve goes like a seesaw. We can go for a Superman ride or a ride somewhere in a theme park, but not in your trading account. When the number of lots or the size is abnormal with respect to the trading account size, what happens is the equity curve will look like a pure sine curve. I don't know how many people have seen the sine curve in your academics. It's a pure sine curve. You're going to hit a top, you're going to come to break even, and you're going to go down, same magnitude. Again, you will hit a break even, you will again hit a top. So this seesaw cycle will keep on continuing, and that is definitely not good for the emotional wealth of our mind. Absolutely not. So we have to make sure, see, I always tell this, it's as important as, protecting your trading account, as protecting your emotional wealth. We need to protect our brain, we need to protect our emotional quotient well. If we don't protect there, obviously it will reflect in the trading account. So if our emotional wealth is really good, our trading account will grow, it will grow. There is no question about it. It's a matter of time. It's a question of, when, rather than whether it's a question of how trading account will grow. But if your emotional wealth is not good, the trading account will reflect that. There will be seesaws, there will be underwater drawdowns unnecessarily. We will make mistakes, and the circle continues and the cycle continues. Okay, personal expense pressure. So this is one of the, I think this probably, one of the main reasons behind a full-time trader going bust or going back to his job or going back to his previous profession. The reason is they don't have sufficient backup. They come into trading and they don't have 3 to 4 years of backup for for their personal expenses. They trade, they take a trade, they want to make 3,000 rupees today because the electricity bill is 6,000 rupees, so they want 2 days of profit there. So everything is equated to the expenses. They have a EMI on their house, or they're in a rental house. Their rent is 30,000 rupees, so they want to make 5,000 rupees per day. So 6 days I make money, I can pay my rent. 2 days I don't make money, I will eat only bread and egg. I will not eat any vegetables. So when we equate all these kind of things, the expense pressures actually surmount to a unimaginable level that we keep on taking our profits early. Again, see, I'm connecting the profits early thing here. So we keep taking our profits early. We don't want losses. Even though we put stop loss, we don't want losses. We don't accept losses as a regular part of trading. Everything boils down to the personal expense pressure then. So this is how this personal expense pressure gives a jolt to our lack of discipline. Okay, so now moving on. No clearly defined trading plan strategy. I'm sure everybody here has a trading plan strategy, but there are some folks who don't have a defined trading plan. So when we don't have that, obviously there is no benchmark, or there is no kind of benchmark where we can measure our discipline against. So if there are no rules, with what kind of benchmark we're going to measure the discipline? There is no way. So no clearly defined trading plan is probably it's a no-brainer point. If you don't have a plan, then there is no rules. If there are no rules, then there is no way to measure the discipline. So lack of discipline or disciplined person, we can never make sure if we don't have rules. So that's that. And dealing with psychological issues, focusing on process goals rather than money P&L. This is probably the last slide, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, focusing on process goals rather than the P&L. What does that mean? See, traders usually like to set goals. Nothing wrong in it. But unfortunately, the monetary goals, they create unnecessary pressures. So more effective goals would be on the, we can probably focus on the process of trading, such as limiting losses to, let's say 20 points, or trading until the trailing stop is hit. These are all process goals. So we can measure the process goals. We can see whether we have executed the goals properly rather than focusing just on P&L. So that might help a little bit with the psychological issues. Next is tackling risk incrementally. What does that mean? How do I say that? Basically, see, risk places a psychological glass on situations and greatly increase the opportunities for performance pressure. We are actually welcoming the moment we actually increase our risk, or the moment we increase our risk abnormally, we are welcoming performance pressure on ourselves. No question about that, right? It's as simple as this. How many people watch cricket here? I can, because we are all Indians, I think it's running in our blood. So I can probably take a cricket example. Let's say first few overs of the match has just started. I mean, we are just chasing, right? India is chasing, let's say, and Australia has set target of 300 runs. And the first few overs, Shikhar Dhawan is, hitting a boundary, or Rohit is hitting a boundary, does not matter. I mean, it's all good for the asking rate. Hitting a boundary does not really matter. You can still play slowly. But remember the same pressure what the player would feel if there are only 2 balls left and 4 runs to go. Think about the same boundary. It's the same boundary. The player is going to hit the same boundary, but the amount of pressure the player will go through in that ball versus the ball which he faced in the first few overs, completely different. The reason is the situations are completely different. See, in the first few overs you have a lot of time to catch up, but in the last over, when there is only 2 balls left, there is not much time to catch up. The pressure kicks in. So that is what it is. So when you are not tackling the risk incrementally, if you have not kept up with the asking rate, obviously hitting 70 runs in 4 overs is going to be a daunting task at the end. The same way, if somebody is trading only 1 lot and they try to increase their size radically, let's say, and then they find out that the trade which worked with 1 lot is not working with 10 lots, it's obviously the pressure that has made the trader reduce his performance. So whenever you move up the size, let's say if you're trading 5 lots, you're moving up the size to 10 lots, you're just doubling up because your account size has doubled up. Remember this point. You're going to hit a performance pressure. Yeah, you're going to hit a performance ceiling. So when you don't increase the risk increment rather than going from 5 to 7 to 7 to 9 to 9 to 10, if you do 5 to 10 to 10 to 20 and 20 to 40, the performance pressure will mount up exponentially, just like the way we are increasing the lot size, and that will affect our performance eventually. So next point. See, these are all things which we can avoid so that the psychological issues will not creep in. That is the whole point, agenda of this slide. Losing trades are a natural part of trading. I mean, we all know that. I mean, I don't want to keep on reiterating like a parrot, but the point is, if we don't accept losing trades, then it's going to be a difficult task to be in this profession. And the more we announce the trades in online forums, the more we feel the pressure, because the need to be right bias kicks in. Remember? So that is how this whole thing is interconnected. So it's better to avoid posting your trades. I know some people will like to educate and teach other people. Yeah, the noble cause is there, I understand. But for the sake of it, once until you attain a level where posting trades does not hinder you, for me it is like a place where you are not depending on trading income anymore. You have like 5 crores of FD set aside. FD, I mean FD, not in your investment portfolio, FD, so that you get like 40 lakhs per year out of just FDs. which can take care of their expenses. Then you can afford to do all kinds of mistakes here and there. Nothing wrong. You can post your trades. You can say that you are the best trader. All those things are all fine. But not in the initial stages, because in initial stages, all these pressures will creep in one by one, and these are not very tangible pressures. We will not be able to see it. It's invisible. It's all inside our brain. So it's better to avoid all these things so that we can move up in trading career. Once we attain a certain level, you are the king, man. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. So that is my thought process on this. Next is stepping away from the screen. It's quite obvious actually, this point. It is actually far better to step away from the screen and refocus on what the market is giving you than to act blindly on our emotions like fear or hope or greed and compound an already difficult situation. So the moment you step away from the screen, you're not watching the charts. So because you're not watching the charts, you're not watching the ticks, the way the market moves every second. Because you're not watching the market movement every second, let's say you're in a losing trade, you just lost a trade, it's always better to get out of the screen 30 minutes, nothing wrong. The next trade probably, you're going to miss the next trade, that's fine. But the thing is, the mind can get cleared up a bit. You can probably listen to some songs in TV if you're a full-time trader, or if you're a part-time trader, if you're in a job and you're trading and you've got a losing trade, you can probably go out for a coffee break. You can go to your food court and have some snacks. So that probably will clear up the mind and we can come up fresh and take the new trade. But if we don't do that, what happens is the previous trade's outcome, which is a loss, will have a big bearing on the mind. And the new trade, what we will do is we'll either jump the gun, we'll probably take the trigger much before the setup forms, or we would have taken the trigger, but let's say the loss is 20 points in the previous trade. The moment we reach 20 points profit in the new trade, we will come out. Because all we want to make sure is come break even, nothing else. So all these emotional things will start kicking in. Rather than that, if you clear up the mind, if you find a way to clear up a mind, nothing like it, because we all know that statistically, probability-wise, the previous trade's outcome is completely independent of the current trade, because that's how sequencing works. Okay, that's the reason for this point. It is impossible to predict market turns. Okay, I want to sit on this point for a while. There are a lot of gurus, trading gurus, who can predict market turns. Great. But there is no one single guru who can predict market turns every single time 100% correctly. It cannot happen. If it is happening, then he has a crystal ball in his hand. And I don't think any of the terrorist organization will let that crystal ball in his hand if they know that. So they will obviously take it. The governments will take it, because a crystal ball is basically seeing the future. In markets, there is no way to see the future. There is only one point if you want to take from this whole session of this 1.5 hours of monologue from Madan Kumar. If you can take this point away, I think the session would have been well received. It is impossible to predict market turns. Okay? If you can predict 2 out of 10 times, great. If you can predict 5 out of 10 times, great. But what happens to the next remaining 5 times is as good as a 50% system. But unfortunately, the prediction game will kick in a small thing in our brain which gives overconfidence. We think that, oh, I have figured out the market, man. I am the great analyst, plus trader too. So when I know where the market is going to bottom out, or when I know where the market is going to top out, I am the king. So rather than putting 100 lots of Nifty, which is my usual size, let me put 200 lots and make double the money. Why not? So all those overconfidence things kick in. So the moment we understand it's impossible to predict market turns, it actually serves our best interest, which is to protect our trading account and our mental quotient. Okay. Use mental rehearsals to make threatening situations familiar. I already talked about this. So a couple of people have posted the book too. It's a very good book. You can actually read it, and you can try to get a couple of leaves out of the book. So basically, the goal for mental rehearsal is to often face the performance fears in our mind, and and how we cope up with those performance fears. And once we keep on seeing that, the mind does not know the difference between the actual event. That's how subconscious mind works. So when you really you visualize in a way that it is really happening, the mind does not know the difference, the subconscious mind. It really believes the situation is happening. Once the situation is known, it's no more an unknown event. So the mind actually makes sure that the response is automatic. When there is a stop loss hit, your mind automatically thinks that, okay, this trade is done, I'm out. I know this trade has no bearing on my next trade, so let me move on to the next trade. So that is how we train the brain. The subconscious mind actually, just like the way we drive the car. I mean, let's say I want to go to the grocery shop, which is a nearby grocery shop, which I've been driving to that place for almost 10 years. Am I really thinking about where to take a turn, how much angle I should steer the wheel, whether I should take a U-turn there, whether I should stop at the signal, or what kind of aerodynamics I should put on in terms of acceleration, what kind of braking I should do? I don't think any of these things. Everything happens subconsciously. The same way, if we can handle this performance fears and your other emotions in a very subconscious way, nothing like it, right? So this mental rehearsals might actually help in those scenarios. So that is why I'm stressing this point one more time. Okay, so this is funny. Get a life. What does that mean? When something becomes really important, all important, just like somebody was telling I'm obsessed with trading, and I couldn't take my thoughts out of trading. What happens is the pressure that accompanies performance increases exponentially, and it's more so with traders who trade for a living, and who trade for a living and they have nothing else going on in their lives. Those traders are extremely affected by this thing, performance pressure. So what can be done is, if trading is your whole world and trading is not working, obviously it's going to feel like the whole world is collapsing and coming down on you, right? So by putting our self-esteem somewhere else, I mean, that's the initial point I made when I started this session. So by putting our self-esteem eggs in so many baskets, traders can actually ensure that the inevitable drawdowns and the cold periods are basically flat periods, will not disrupt their self-confidence. The moment it does not disrupt their self-confidence, trading is just a profession. It's a way to make money. I don't attach my self-esteem to that. So I'm just free of all the nonsense performance anxieties and pressures. I just do it as a profession. It's like this, right? When we are working in a company, a lot of people are working in a company, and let's say you are doing a successful sales. You are in sales and marketing. Let's say you're doing successful sales. Do you go to Facebook and Twitter and say that, hey, look at this, I have made a successful sales every single time? No, you don't do that. The same way, because it's just your profession. Nobody cares about that. The same way, trading, you don't need to announce your, great winning scenarios, your great trades, your losing, nothing. Because the moment you start announcing that, you're automatically attaching your self-image to it. Because we are attaching our self-image to it, there is a chance of decimating the self-image. Because we are decimating the self-image, we will lose our confidence. Because we are losing our confidence, it will be very difficult to follow the plan. Because we don't follow the plan, we are not a good trader. Because we are not trading good, we lose our money. Because we are losing money, we think trading is bullshit. Because trading is bullshit, I can never get back to trading. That's how the cycle starts. Or if somebody is fortunate enough, they can bring in another 2 lakhs into trading. Again, the whole cycle starts. As long as we don't detach our self-image from trading, this cycle is keeping on going to repeat. All right. So that is what it is. Done. Okay. Cool, man. Okay, guys. So let me start now. So let me go and. Okay. So I want to know how the session was so far. I mean, I know it was like. It was not very interactive, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we are on the right track, and you are able to understand my my poor choice of English words. I'm not very good at English, but I just want to make sure that we are on the right track and we are going on a flow. Okay, Rajendran has asked a question. Is revisiting the stops against our trade is a wise decision? Obviously not. I done a couple of times and market again came down to hunt the stops. I thought of not to revise my stops against my positions henceforth, but whenever market moving against my position, the thought arrives. See, that is the reason. See, Rajendran, I told you, right? See, when you are overconfident on our analysis, when you have an extremely big urge to make money faster, and these things can happen. See, the thing is, we have not accepted the losses mentally, and I also laid down the reasons for that. So it doesn't mean that you are guilty of all the reasons, but there could be a couple of reasons only you can answer to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But one thing is, I mean, as you said, like sometimes market profile is like marijuana, right? It's so addictive, and sometimes I mean, if you are trading so discreetly and you're seeing a sequence of winning streaks, it makes you overconfident with your analysis, and then next time you want to try it out. At least what will happen? Let's see. Those sort of herd mentality tend to arise. So I thought of limiting my stops. Whenever the stop is going to hit, the thought arrives anyways. I mean, let it hit. Let me do the analysis next time. So this is how I move on. But still, the thought arrives. Do I have to stop? Revise the stop loss. I have to revise the stop loss.
See, the thought will keep on coming into the mind, but you have to think that you have to weigh the differences between following your plan versus not following your plan. Whether following your plan has made you come from where you were to the current situation, or not following your plan have made you come from where you were to the current situation. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So the moment we ask that question, whenever the thought creeps in, I mean, it's actually better to actually stick that question near your monitor, and whenever that thought creeps in, you should say, Rajendran, are you stupid? Please follow the plan. No, it's basically you're reading it to yourself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, no, I'm not calling you stupid, Rajendran. It's basically the question you have in your monitor. Okay, so nothing wrong. It's a very personal question, but it actually brings you back to the common sense thing, so which is good. Yeah. Okay, the next question: how to be consistent? Can you please cover on this? I mean, the first question before being consistent is: are you consistent in following the plan? If you are not consistent in following the plan, then there is no way we can be consistent with making money. Absolutely not. But if you're consistent in following the plan, then still you're not making money, then we have to go back whether you really have an edge in the market. If you don't have an edge in the market, any kind of discipline, any kind of psychological management will not help us. We need to have edge in the market. Okay. How do you train yourself to do what you see and not what you think the market will do? That is, my rules might say it's a buy, but since the overall market is down, I'm scared to take the trade. How do you train yourself to cut off from the market noises? Okay, DRK, switch off your TV. I know people watch TV while trading. Block twitter.com through your proxy, your antivirus proxy server, whatever you call it. Block it, firewall, yeah. Block twitter.com. And I would say even block, if you're going to forums, block that. All you can do is google.co.in. Other than that, you should not be able to go to any website. Once you block internet, websites and TV, automatically you will see only what you have to see. So that is what it is. How do I stop thinking about trading all the time? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Managed derivatives. How do I stop thinking about trading all the time? I'm literally obsessed with trading. See, the thing is, as I told you, managed derivatives. If you put our self-esteem backs and the recognition backs into trading, the X into trading, then it's a problem. Because then we get obsessed with trading because we want to make sure that we win it. Nothing wrong. See, the problem is this, right? A lot of common wisdom says that you should get obsessed with your work. You should not think about anything else and all those stuff. But that is only to a certain extent. Especially in trading, what happens is the more you think about trading, I mean, it's good in the learning phase, but after that, what happens is we get obsessed with it, and I'm sure you're not married, because I think I talked with you in a private message. So let's say you get married, or your wife will not really appreciate that point. I still remember talking to a guy based from Delhi. He was basically a very big commodity trader when MCX opened. But the moment he was telling me that the moment you get obsessed with trading, what happens is your relationship with your loved ones actually go haywire. So all this intangible issues creep up, which is not good. So it's better to focus our competitiveness and our ego satisfying activities outside of training. When we do that, automatically the obsession will go down. Of course, your passion will stay back, but the obsession will not be there. See, obsession is a mental, it's some kind of, some people say obsession compulsive disorder. It's called OCD in behavioral psychology. So obsession and passion, there is a very thin line. So the moment we cross that line, then we strain relationships, we strain our health, we strain our wealth too sometimes. But as long as it stays as passion, it's all good. Okay. Why do people jump from one system to another? Okay, one, they think there is a holy grail. They think there is a 90% 1:4 reward to risk ratio. I mean risk to reward ratio system. Second, they don't believe in actual screen time. Screen time is basically, somebody asked that question, I remember. It's coming in the next scrolling down page. Screen time is basically the number of market hours, the screen hours you have put on. Just like in any profession, when you want to become an expert in the profession, they say you need to put 10,000 hours behind it. But unfortunately, in trading, somehow the education side of trading has given a wrong myth that you just need to have a system and you can laugh your way to the bank, you can sip pina coladas in popular Hawaii Islands, but that's not the case. So the real effort has to go behind it, and unfortunately we don't believe in that. That's the reason we jump from system to system. So we don't believe in a system, we don't believe in making money incrementally. That's the reason. Okay, what at a personal level should I give myself a time limit to learn one type of trading and excel in that? I'm not sure. See, just like any other profession, my friend runs a popular food chain here in Chennai. He says it takes anywhere from 4 to 5 years to even understand the underlying market dynamics, the local demography, right? So there is no way to put a definite number, but in trading I would say give yourself 5 years of time, and if you are still solvent after 5 years, I think it's good. What should be time goals for a new trader, let's say, who has started trading 6-9 months back? Yeah, I just said 5 years. Give yourself 5 years. Hi Madan, I'm very new to trading and just started learning about it 6 months. I've not started trading. Okay, this guy wants to give 3 to 5 years. That's good. Yeah, before getting into full-time, I remember a post in my Zerodha interview. Somebody asked a question, you want to move from part-time to full-time and you want to know what to do about it. I have given a 10 or 11 pointers on that. You guys can go back and refer to that. But I'll just summarize a couple of things here. Make sure you have backup. Make sure you have a loving mom or wife. If you don't have that, if they don't support you, if you're unmarried and if your parents does not support you, or if your loved ones are not supporting you, it's very difficult to sustain in this game, in this profession. And if you want to make consistently money for 2 to 3 years before you start full-time, yeah, that's a good idea too. Because now you know that you have what it takes to being consistent. That's good. Okay, next. Let us know your thoughts about revenge trades. I talked about it. So revenge trades happen for a very specific reason. Mentally, how to project myself to society. Entire family is not happy about my profession in trading. Sometimes we feel very lonely in this career. Is it normal? Or maybe one-off case that my family, friends, social circle doesn't have much people supporting stock market. See, simple, Shankar. Everybody thinks that stock market is pure gambling, just like lottery buying, or your slot machine in a casino. So they don't think that there is some kind of probability involved and there is some kind of mathematics involved in trading. They don't believe in that. It took me years and years to make my in-laws understand that this is also a very decent profession. This is also a profession where you can make money. Forget about my in-laws. It took me a lot of time to convince my mom. So it was not easy. So you're not alone. Our boat is full of people like you and me. So don't worry about it. They see the simple thing you can do is start making money in trading. The moment you start making money, the moment your lifestyle goes up, the moment you flash few new things to their eyes, automatically their mouth gets sealed. So you can't really beat that. So increase your lifestyle a little bit, that's fine. But for that you have to start making money, and you have to start making serious money. So once you start making serious money, you buy a couple of houses cash down. I want to meet your relatives and I want to talk to them about that. So let's do that. How many years you spend learning full-time trading? Sachin, see the I was telling you, right? I worked from home for almost 3 years, so I had a lot of time with me. So I wouldn't call it as full time because I was making money too, right? I mean, I was having a job, but I would literally consider me as a full time with respect to the number of hours I was putting. I was putting like 6 to 7 hours a day. So I think it took me almost 3 to 4 years before I turned into full time. See, when I moved back to India, the currency conversion also helped. So I made some money in US, right, by job. So currency conversion in rupees like today. So, but it was good. So I made some money. So I had some money to come back to. And I never worked in India, by the way. 2002 I graduated. My undergraduation has been, I think I graduated 2002. Yes. In 2002 I left the US that fall, and 2009 I came back. I never prepared my resume here, and nothing. I mean, it just happened that way. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Is CC the one who wrote Mastering the Trade? Yes, Nam. Yeah, John Carter. Yeah. The two charts says they were underwater for 2 to 3 years. Done. You said for, and their ways in reality we should. Yes, absolutely, Shankar. Yeah. So when the more and more we are into this, I mean, I'm not talking about a decade trader or 2 decades. If you, let's say you are in this for, let's say 30 years, you're going to have a dull and lull period for 2 years, 3 years, just like that. So, and he's a trend follower, by the way. The people who know Bill, he's a trend follower, and trend following system seems to have this because market goes on cycle. It just goes on a range, and you get whipped. So whipped like a fresh cream. So that's where we should be prepared. Yep. Okay, I'm going down. At the end of the training or later, can you give the name of books in your? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that later, man. Yeah. Mental accounting discussion. Okay, if I have missed any of your question, just retype it. I'm just going down, keeping on going down in my other system. 1,000 trades, good number to backtest. Oh yeah, I think I answered this. Yeah. Okay. Second. Okay, somebody's reflecting on himself here. Shri, starting trading without training from a mentor is the biggest mistake. Okay. See, the problem, Shri, is where are you going to find the mentor, and what incentive a mentor has? See, if a guy is really good in trading, I mean, I'm sure he's not looking for your compensation, right? So, he has to know you, obviously, otherwise he's not going to interact with you. So he should have met you a couple of times in person, and he or she should probably feel that you are a trading material. So his time is probably will be well spent on carving your rough edges. So you should feel all these things. So finding a mentor in any profession, I mean, when you get into middle management and companies, Fortune 50 companies, obviously they assign a mentor to you right away. But that's not the case here in trading. Nothing happens automatically. So you need to find a mentor, and the mentor should be willing to, I remember talking to some guy about mentoring and all the stuff, right? I mean, finally that guy asked me, okay, I'm just going to tic-tac your system, and, whatever trade you take, I'm going to take it for the next 2 months. I said, oh, forget it. I thought I can talk to you about, some real stuff, but that guy wanted to just tag my system, and what is he going to learn from it? Nothing. So finding a mentor is difficult, and making sure that the mentor accepts your request is much more difficult. So yeah. And second mistake is not to go for small wins instead of going for home runs. Okay. Okay. I don't know what that is. What is screen time? Screen time is basically the number of hours, you put. It's like number of hours you put on. Let's say you are an IT developer. The number of hours you put on coding. That's screen time for you. So missing opportunity is more painful than losing a trade. Absolutely, yes. That's one of the biases we have. Can you please type book name? I think people already gave it. So okay. I always lay out a trading plan, but somehow deviate every time. The reason is you don't want to make money in an incremental way, or you need the money right away to fulfill your expenses. Very poor trading of that sort. So think about that. Okay, how to maintain a neutral outlook when we have time after entry between between trades. See, simple managed derivatives. I'm assuming your name is Nikhil. See, simple Nikhil. Put on the trade. You have to believe in this. You have to worry only about the things you can control in life. The things you can't control or influence, it's absolutely waste of time. There's no point thinking about it, worrying about it, or trying to make it better, because it's not in your control. What can you do about it? So the entry is in your control, the exit is in your control, and your position size is in your control. But what kind of points market is going to give, or what kind of returns you're going to get in a month or a quarter, is absolutely not in your control. So the moment we realize that, automatically this filter will fade away. You will not have that seesaw feeling of the market moves from your stop loss to target, the same way your mind creates a map. So you will not feel that anymore. So just make sure that there is no control you have on how the market moves. Once your entry is done, all you're going to worry about, because during entry itself you have your position sizing, assuming that you are going all in. If you are scaling in, you know where you want to scale in. All you can do is just manage your exits. That's it. So nothing more, nothing less. Okay, burnouts are faster. Can you? Okay, as soon as I put on a position, I look for others who have a similar view as me. Absolutely, and feel overconfident about the view I have, and feel the motive. Okay, yeah, I covered this, Anish. So this is a big problem. This is the biggest bane of the Twitter era. So that's why I said you should put a firewall on Twitter. So once it's like this, right? If you don't have ice cream in your house, how are you going to eat ice cream? If you don't have chocolates in your house, how are you going to eat chocolates? So if you're putting on weight because of chocolates and ice cream, just don't buy it. Don't buy it and keep it in your refrigerator. The same way, if you're looking for confirmation in every trade you put on, where are you going to look at if you don't have internet access to those websites? So just cut it off. That's the only way. You got to be brutal to yourself. I mean, nobody can be brutal to yourself than you. So just absolutely be brutal, honest on yourself, cut off your noises. Just do this, guys. Next 1 month, cut off all the noises, okay? And come back to me and tell how your trading was. I'm sure you will thank this Sunday. Okay, can you post how do you write? Oh, big question. So again, in that $0 interview I've written about this trading journal. Please go back. It's a big thing I've written. I've actually included everything. So if you could do that, I would appreciate it. Those of us fortunate to be in network somewhere in India, seeing their P&L can also creep up in mind, forcing us to size aggressive. Yeah, good question, Nikhil. Nikhil, let's say I'm playing with Sachin and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And I'm let's say a county cricketer, probably a Ranji cricketer, or I'm just playing for Chennai. So how intelligent or how stupid it is for me to emulate Sachin's consistency in performance and Mahendra Singh Dhoni's performance? Obviously, it's not very intelligent. The reason is they would have gone through what you would have gone through, but the only thing is they would have put the number of hours and years behind them, the experience they have. So you have to take that into account. So we can't match just because you have the money. See, that's a problem with trading. Just because you have money, people tend to put positions. No, that's not the way. A guy who is putting 200 lots of Nifty as a retail trader, trading for 15 years, and then the next guy who is sitting, who is just let's say 2 years old in the business, and he's trading 40 lots, which is not a mean task, by the way. Let's say he's trading 40 lots and the next guy is putting 200 lots. I mean, why should we feel the urge to put 200 lots, and why should we feel the urge to see their P&L? Because they are where they are because of the years and the experience they have. So we will also get there, but the only thing is we should remember to ourselves that the time that has taken for them to attain that level will probably the average time for anybody. I mean, of course, there are exceptions. And again, that's where the Lake Wobegon effect is. We overestimate our abilities. We think that, oh, Sachin can take 15 years to master that cover drive, but not me. I can do it in 2 months. See, that's the problem. So, okay, what tools, indicators? No, I don't use any indicators, Amit. Nothing actually. Seriously, I mean, I'm not saying this for the sake of it. Absolutely no indicator. It's just 30 minutes candlestick charts, and I don't intend to learn any Japanese anymore. So no Arami, no Ichimoku, nothing. So I have no idea about all those things. So focus on building your own system. Focus on building how you can be a profitable trader. Focus on building that thought process. Focus on being a consistent trader. Focus on being I won't say emotion-free trader, because emotions are very important. Emotion-free trading is a myth. Nobody can trade emotion-free. But only thing is we just need to identify the emotions and understand how they work, and understand how we can work those emotions in our favor. So focus on that, and focus on building your equity curve very slowly. Focus on building your size incrementally. So that's about it, I guess. Just focus on yourself. Focus on your system. Focus on making this profession a long-term career rather than 1 year or 2 year endeavor. Make it as a long-term endeavor, so it will be very rewarding. There are a lot of intangibles. After especially if you are an equity trader, after 3:30 there is nothing. You have a lot of time for your family, for yourself. You can focus on your other passions, which also builds your self-image, so that the self-image that is connected to the trading goes down. So nice things happen in trading. You can do a lot of traveling. You can trade from anywhere. Let's say your parents are in and you are in a different state. You can go to your parents' house for a week, trade from there. You can visit your in-laws. I mean, if you know what I mean. I don't know whether sitting in in-laws' place for a week is a good idea. That I don't know. But the place. So all those nice things can happen. So a lot of intangibles, guys. So you do this right, no profession can beat this. I can vouch you for that. I can guarantee you that, because the intangibles actually surpass the tangible benefits of other professions. Money is not the only thing. We need to have a whole balanced life. So absolutely a great profession. And if you're using indicators and if you're making money, it's absolutely amazing. See, there are 1,000 ways of making money in trading. My way is more superior than your way. If I say that, I'm probably the most stupidest person in this world. I'm not going to say that. If you can make money, if it is attuned to your psychology, If you can execute your plan effortlessly with that trading idea, nothing like it. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't rock your boat. Indicator based trading, if you use even a simple moving average crossover and making money, please keep doing that. All right. So 1,000 ways of making money in trading. Remember that your way of trading is no inferior to my way, and my way is no superior to your way. All right. So that's the thing. What is one thing you keep in mind while in markets? One thing I keep in mind is I am just one among the millions of traders in the market. I'm no superior to anybody. I'm no inferior to anybody. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, what I intend to do. So that's what I've been doing. But does following blogs for learning purpose okay? Yeah, that's what I was telling Sachin. Do follow blogs after the market. No noises, no market noises, no forums, no Twitter, nothing during market hours. Let's say you have 3 days of trade going on and you're still in a trade. Then even after market hours, don't go to the blog. Once your trade is done, once you're flat, go to the blog. That's fine.